This is one of the cheapest ingredients in the grocery store. And most of us only use it for two things. One, to keep the refrigerator from smelling funky. And two, to help a sixth grader build a volcano. But honestly, in cooking, this is something else entirely. It's basically a chemical cheat code. I'm Chris. I'm a medium-level cook with a rare level of curiosity. This is Rarely Well Done. Today we're looking at baking soda, a white powder that tastes kind of like overcooked eggs or antacids. Most of us think of it as a baking ingredient or a cleaning ingredient, but in small amounts, it can quietly change how food behaves.
So what happens when we start using baking soda on purpose in food?
Do you play the mandolin?
We'll start with onions. Can baking soda affect how quickly they brown? Normally caramelizing onions takes a while, sometimes 40 minutes or more. So we'll start with 2 piles of sliced onions that are the same weight. On the one side, we'll add a bit of water, and on the other, we'll add some water with a pinch of baking soda. The baking soda is alkaline and therefore raises the pH of onions. The Maillard reaction, the reaction that creates browning, happens much faster in alkaline conditions. Here's the cool part. These onions brown sooner, which is a nice time saver. This shot happened after about 15 minutes. So what else can it do?
So in time, my onions all got brown eventually, but the ones here obviously got browned a lot faster, as you can see.
Real-time me will take a taste of both. The baking soda onions should be softer to the touch and have more flavor depth.
That first bite, the baking soda bite, just kind of tastes a little bit more well-rounded. They're both excellent at this point. Yeah, if I'm saving time, I'm definitely using the baking soda. That gets me there a lot faster.
Baking soda can affect a surprising number of things in cooking. Browning, tenderness, texture, even acidity. Let's test it on some meat with a technique called velveting. We're going to dust a piece of pork with baking soda and rub it in. After about 15 minutes, we'll rinse it completely and dry it with a paper towel. The alkaline conditions make the muscle proteins hold on to moisture more effectively, which keeps the meat from tightening up when it hits the pan. In other words, it makes the meat feel like it got an upgrade. Like here, where my pork suddenly thinks it's a lobster. I actually have no idea what sound lobsters make. Anyway, this technique is frequently used in stir-frying to create that velvety texture, hence the name. As you'll see in a minute, other restaurants use it for exactly the opposite effect on other foods.
So soft. It's hard to see on camera, I know, but there's this, I see what they call it, velveting. It's very texturally very soft to the touch and to the tongue. It's so luxurious. That worked great.
Next, we'll try something with starch to see if we can get some extra crispness. I'm starting 2 pots of water, but this back one has some baking soda added. Next, I'll chop some potatoes and measure exactly 9.7 ounces of potatoes for each bowl and start them parboiling. No magic in that number, by the way. I was just aiming to be equal. The idea here is that the alkaline baking soda water breaks down the surface starch. This roughs up the outside of the potatoes like they owe the mob money. After we drain them and shake them a bit, you can start to see the effect in the bowl on the left. It's kind of subtle on camera. Next, I'll hit them both with an equal amount of oil and roast them side by side in the oven. Incidentally, this is the secret weapon a lot of chefs use to get extra crispy fried chicken wings.
So it's a little harder to tell on camera. These are the ones that were done in the baking soda. These are the ones that were done in just regular water and salt. And the texture of these, it's a lot softer on the outside. These have a crispness that's, again, a little hard to see on camera. Now, all the skins on both sides got pretty browned and crispy, but these, the texture of the outside of these is nice and crispy as a result of the baking soda. And the inside's wonderfully soft. Yeah, the effect that it had is a very good one. It's nice and soft on the inside, good and crunchy on the outside. Everything you want from a little chunk of potato.
4 questions remain. Can baking soda neutralize acidity? Can it soften dried beans? Are you going to like this video and subscribe? And can baking soda finally redeem its long career in science fairs? Let's keep experimenting. For an example of an acidic food, we're going to use some tomato sauce and add a pinch of baking soda. When it reacts with that acid, it releases carbon dioxide. Can you see those tiny bubbles? That's the same reaction that makes baking soda work in baking and in tiny volcanoes. The result is a sauce that tastes a little less sharp. Next, we'll try to use baking soda to make beans softer. An Instant Pot is already pretty good at this, but we're going to add a small amount of baking soda into the cooking liquid. the result should be a very creamy bean that has very little resistance to smashing. If you're after that softness, this is the way to go. And the result of all this chemistry that we've done today? Lunch.
Time to make some chili.
So that little box of baking soda can speed up browning, tenderize meat, crisp potatoes, soften beans, and balance acidic sauces, which is a pretty respectable career change for something that mostly explodes for middle schoolers. So baking soda might be one of the strangest tools in the pantry. It doesn't really add flavor, it just quietly changes the rules. So please tell me in the comments how you use baking soda.
I hope I've encouraged you to try something new. Thanks for watching.